Egypt backs diplomatic efforts to end the Russia-Ukraine war, participates in the Arab, African, and peace initiatives. Egyptian-Hungarian foreign ministers discuss bilateral ties, Gaza reconstruction, and ceasefire stabilization efforts. Prime Minister Madbouli inspects the Housing for All Egyptians units in 10th of Ramadan city. And good morning, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching Qnews, bringing you the latest updates from Egypt. The Egyptian Foreign Ministry issued a statement expressing Egypt's support for all diplomatic efforts to end the Russia-Ukraine war. Furthermore, the Egyptian Foreign Ministry stated that Egypt has actively participated in the Arab and African initiatives and the Friends of Peace initiative, and it supports all efforts to end the Ukrainian-Russian crisis. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Bedr Abdelati, held a telephone conversation with his Hungarian counterpart, Peter Szijjártó, to discuss bilateral relations and the Arab plan for early recovery and reconstruction in Gaza. The two ministers also discussed Egypt's upcoming Gaza Reconstruction Conference, organized in coordination with the Palestinian alongside stabilized. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Bedr Abdelati, said that he is looking forward to gaining the support of the United Nations Development Programme in implementing the Arab Plan for the reconstruction of Gaza and leveraging its expertise in the early recovery phase. Meeting with Abdullah El-Dardiri, the Assistant Secretary General and Director of the United Nations Development Programme, Abdelati affirmed Egypt's commitment to support to promote sustainable development in the Arab region, particularly in light of the security, economic and social challenges. The Minister of Youth and Sports, Ashraf Subhi, met with his Algerian counterpart, Walid Sadi, to discuss ways to enhance bilateral sports cooperation and develop joint initiatives to support African sports. Subhi emphasized that under the leadership of President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, Egypt places great importance on strengthening relations with African nations, particularly in the sports sector, which serve as a vital communication bridge between peoples. And Egypt's ambassador to Iraq, Ahmed Samir, hosted a gathering for the Egyptian community in Baghdad to mark the holy month of Ramadan. The event was attended by community leaders, members, and a delegation from the Coptic Orthodox Church. Samir welcomed the attendees, praising the Egyptian community's role in strengthening historical and Baghdad. He also reaffirmed the embassy's commitment to supporting Egyptians residing in Iraq. And Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli inspected housing units of Housing for All Egyptians presidential initiative that targets low and limited income segments as part of his tour of the 10th of Ramadan city. Madbouli inspected a 90 square meter housing unit in the East Andalus district of the 10th of Ramadan city, which is constructed under the presidential initiative Housing for All Egyptians. And Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli has lauded the pivotal role of the Egyptian Space Agency to achieve sustainable development goals through adopting space technology. And during the 10th meeting of the agency's board, Madbouli extended thanks to the agency board members over their great efforts to contribute to the national development process. And the Housing Minister, Sharif al-Shirbini, announced that the Social Housing and Mortgage Finance Fund has completed screening applications for the Housing for All Egyptians 5 initiative. Applicants will receive SMS notifications on their registered phone numbers starting Tuesday, March the 18th, 2025, informing them of their application status and next steps. And thousands of citizens participated in the El Matariya Iftar, the largest public group iftar in Egypt, held in Izbit Hamada for the 10th consecutive year. A large number of ministers and public figures joined the people of El Matariya in this grand communal event, which took place in a festive atmosphere. And the Minister of Social Solidarity, Maya Morsi, joined the thousands of residents at Egypt's largest street iftar, embraced by the warm community spirit of the densely populated Matariya district in the heart of Cairo. This iftar gathering has persisted as a cherished annual tradition, bringing together people from all walks of life, along with officials and public, to celebrate the spirit of Ramadan. And the Minister of Tourism and Antiquities said that an Egyptian-U.S. archaeological mission has discovered the royal tomb dating to the Second Intermediate Period, 1650 BC to 1550 BC, in Egypt's southern province of Sohag. The tomb, located 7 meters underground, features a limestone burial chamber with inscribed decorations, multiple kilns, storage areas, and 32 ostraka inscribed in Demotic and Greek script were found in the Roman workshop. These fragments document commercial transactions and tax payment methods of the period. Deputy Minister for Industrial Development and Minister of Industry and Transport, Kim, electric train network Ain Sokhna Alamein Matruh. The minister reviewed the project's progress, including final station finishes, completion of bridges, tunnels, and installation of rails and catenary poles. Infrastructure and road projects for the Beit al-Watan lands designated for Egyptians abroad and the most distinguished areas in the eastern extension of New Cairo. The minister emphasized the acceleration of the road and utility works in Beit al-Watan to support efforts in providing suitable housing and overcoming any challenges in project execution. He also noted that land plots and residential units in new cities are available for Egyptians working abroad. And Nagy, the chairman of the holding company for food industries at the Ministry of Supply and Internal Trade, announced the launch of Ahlan Bil Eid exhibitions for the first time. The initiative aims to provide food products at discounted prices in preparation for Eid al-Fitr. Nagy stated that the exhibitions will be at various locations across Egypt as part of the government's plan to ensure affordable and stabilized markets during the holiday season. Higher Education Minister Ayman Ashur confirmed that efforts are underway to implement the National Innovation Policy, which includes several sub-policies, programs, and initiatives based on 4 key pillars: talent development, technology transfer, funding accessibility, and improving the work environment. He highlighted that the Alliance and Development Initiative seeks to foster innovation and entrepreneurship regionally through partnerships between higher education and research institutions, industry leaders, entrepreneurs, investors, and relevant government entities, with a focus on maximizing scientific research outcomes. Brings us to the end of this bulletin, and here what we've been covering. Egypt backs diplomatic efforts to end the Russia-Ukraine war, participates in the Arab, African, and peace initiatives. inspects the Housing for All Egyptians units in the 10th of Ramadan city. And that's all for now, and remember to stay updated by following Qnews for the latest developments.